Hey guys, it's PrincessLexiseLicious, and today I will be doing a get ready with me chit chat. I have a couple topics that I want to talk about. I don't know if I will get into all of those today in this video because I am on a time crunch and I'm trying to get things done. So I'm gonna set a timer for about like 30 minutes and we're just gonna keep it that way. I am going to be doing probably a natural look or no makeup kind of look because I want to talk to you guys and I also want to look presentable. So yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm about to fill in my eyebrows a little bit if I can find my eyebrow pencil, and we're just gonna get this show on the road. So what it is? Okay, so one of the topics that I wanted to discuss in this video was me turning 25 and also reflecting on 2022. Well, 2020. Girl, I'm ahead of myself. So one thing that I learned about last year is that anything can be taken away from you. Anything. And I really haven't had anything taken away from me last year. If anything, the bad things were taken away from me. For example, I was talking to two guys at different times. Okay, we was not doing anything, nothing like that. But they were from my past. Like, I knew them when I was in middle school and high school. And, you know, we'll talk like off and on and stuff like that, you know. And for years, I was ignoring them because it was a time in my life that I was not focused on dating at all. Like, if a guy approached me, ignore. Like, immediately. And that was not, you know, the top of my priorities of me trying to get a boyfriend. Even though I do want one, I do want to be married, you know, stuff like that that women want. That was not on top of my food chain at the time. And plus, they weren't my standards. I mean, I prefer a gentleman, nothing else. So if I'm approached with something else that's not a gentleman, I'm going to turn it down regardless. So it was stuff like that, and I'm still kind of like that too. I don't like the roughness. I don't like it. I don't like the little thuggery. I mean, he can have a little bit, but I'm gonna need him to balance it out. Like, I don't like that. In my opinion, nothing good can come out of that situation, in my opinion. And according to stats and all of that, I'm just saying, like, it's nothing that's good that could come from that unless it's your body glass, if you know what I'm talking about. So that was my opinion on that. So it was a guy that I was talking to since I was like 15, and he was a little bit older than me. He was probably like 18 or something like that. And I met him when I was in junior high. And you know how you flirt. Okay, let me describe how he looks. He was literally the jock. Okay, he was tall. I say he was like 6.6 like feet. Like, he was very tall, buff, muscular. I'm gonna give you another description. He was light skinned, even though that does not matter. I mean, he was a good looking guy. And the thing is, you know, he played football and all that. So, of course, girls are going to be, you know, coming after him and all of that. So that was that situation. And then, so, you know, we'll talk on and off as the years go by and all of that. But it was never something that was serious. We never became, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend, even though he did live, I cannot talk, even though he does live in a different state, but it was close. But he went to college in a different state. So, yeah. And they just say he kind of got pretty up there with the football kind of thing. So, you know. And I feel like that 15-year-old mindset of you're trying to talk to the the job, the sports player, whatever you think about those reality TV shows. At the time, it was Basketball Wives. So Basketball Wives was, you know, on and popping, and you can see the lavish lifestyle that they have, even though not the drama and all that. Even Real Housewives, you can see the lavish lifestyle that they was living, these big houses, nice cars and all that. And you want that, you know, as a 15-year-old, and even now, you know, I want it. But at that time, that was like my priority. Like, he has to be a football player. You know how 15-year-olds think. There's some older people that think like that too. But that's how I was thinking. And so, you know, you're trying to do whatever you can so you can be that wife to them. And I was not doing anything, you know, all like that, like cooking and all that. It was just, you know, you just flirting, you know, stuff like that, being available. And that is so, like, off-putting. Don't do that. And that was the main reason at the time that, I mean, I like him. He was a nice guy and all that, but he was pretty, what's a word that I can say? Fast. To be very on the safe side is another F word that I would like to use. Use that, and boy, let's put it together. So he was very like that. He was very full of himself. Let's just say that. Very cocky. He knew that he can have any girl and all that. And, you know, when you look a certain way, you know what benefits that, you know, that you'll get because of the way you look. And he knew that. He knew that, well, because the way I look, I'm buff, I'm tall, I'm good looking in my complexion. Even dark-skinned men get that same type of, you know, treatment and all that. But let's keep it real, you know. They know that their looks plays a big part of their opportunities, even with girls and all that. So they didn't really, you know, take it seriously. Like, marriage, like, no. And I always wanted to be married. I still do. But that was my main objective in the lifestyle, okay? So, I ain't said I'm going to go do. I'm not going to do it, okay? I'm not that at all. But at that time, that 15-year-old mindset, that's what you think of. And even some 15-year-olds, you know, now they still think of that. They be like, I want my husband to be rich and all that. I mean, that's just the mindset that, you know, young teenage girls have. So, anyways, it was a lot of off and on. It was a lot of toxic situations that was going on, and 2020 brought that situation about, and it pointed out a lot of things that a lot of women will accept for the name of having a boyfriend, having a man. Like, you know, many times we'll be like, women will get into it with another woman and be like, that's why you don't have a husband. That's why you don't have a man. To basically put down another female, basically trying to say she's not worth anything because she does not have a boyfriend, because she does not have a spouse, you know, stuff like that. So we kind of use that as leverage to level up another woman, make them feel less than and all that, because A, they don't have a man, and we're better because we have a man, you know, stuff like that. So, and I've noticed that a lot of women will take men back for stuff that they don't have to deal with, like infidelity, all that. And especially if he's repeating it, doing over and over, he's not going to learn from that. He's not going to stop until you leave him. And even if you do leave him, he is still going to do it, okay? And my mindset, maybe because I'm young and all that, I won't say because I'm young. I feel like my mindset, I don't allow people to disrespect me. I don't know if it's the Aquarius in me, honey, but I have a very low tolerance for BS. And 2020 really brought that out. And I've dealt with so much BS over the years, and I feel like all of it just built up. It just built up, and it just brought it out. And No, I'm not doing this. I'm setting boundaries. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not accepting this. You're not going to just text me, you know, text me one day and ignore me or not contact me for months or a month or whatever and think we're going to get back to where we was. No, sir. No, sir. Like, that's not how it's going to go. And I'm not dealing with it if I don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, why would I have to deal with mistreatment if I don't have to? And I feel like women, deep down, we know that we don't have to deal with half of these issues, but we do. For the sake of trying to, you know, level it up another woman and say, well, I got a boyfriend, I'm talking to somebody. Who cares? Like, who cares? And for me, loyalty and respect is a big part of everything to me. Like, I don't care who you are, do not disrespect me. If you do, I'll probably cut you off for good, or I'm gonna let you know. Then I'm gonna cut you off for good. So it's stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna let you know. Don't disrespect me ever. So I let him know. We'll argue and all that, and he was pretty sensitive. Now I know men are going to have their feelings and all that. I'm not, you know, making fun of that, but it was to the point like, dude, come on now. And maybe my standard, and maybe that could have been a gender bias, or I was stereotyping him. Like, as a guy who's that size and that, you know, I don't expect you to act like me, you know, or act like a woman. Like, maybe that is wrong on my behalf, but he was acting like a witch with the B in front, okay? And I don't have time for that. Like, I'm gonna need you to man up. Like, if you're doing something wrong that I don't agree with or like, I'm going to let you know. I am going to let you know. And I'm not one of those type of girls who allow certain things for sake of having a boyfriend or talking to somebody or just showing you off. That's not me. And one of the things I told him, that I'm not that 15-year-old girl anymore. Like, I'm not her. We're not 15 anymore. We're not 15, 14, whatever age we was when we met or whatever. We're not that anymore. Like, it's time to grow up. And I felt like he was still in that state of mind of a 15-year-old or that 16-year-old or whatever. He was not that older than me now. He was not that older than me. But, I mean, we're not that young age. And I do feel like some older men or older boys do go for the young girls because of, you know, they feel like they can control. But I feel like that goes to older women as well. So I can't really pinpoint that on age and all that. Ooh, I'm just slobbering. I just can't really pinpoint that on age. I think that goes with maturity and what you will and will not accept. I'm going to keep this, make it look pretty natural. I don't know if I will do eyelashes, to be quite frank with you. I need to retouch my eyebrows. But, yeah, I mean, basically 2020 brought out that boundary setting thing and not allowing things or people to walk all over you for the sake of, you know, time and age and, you know, security. Because some people like to use their status to, you know, control you. And no, you're not. I'm going to let you know. So, that was pretty much the premises of that discussion for that first behalf. So, I did set some up boundaries. I was more assertive. Some people didn't like it. You'll be okay. You know, just set, you know, boundaries. And even, you know, even in my field of work, people think, oh, you're nice and all that. And I feel like in general, people think like that. But they also think that you're weak in the back of your head. Like, people take your kindness and niceness for weakness. And as soon as you stand up for yourself, they're looking at you like, what is wrong with her? Like, she's crazy. And you're being mean and all that. So, I'm not going to deal with it if I don't have to. Set boundaries. I'm gonna let you know if I don't like nothing. If it look, it be the main ones who be like, I keep it real, but really and truly you don't. Because if you cannot take the realness when it comes back to you, then you're not keeping it real. You're just keeping it rude or disrespectful. You just think that you can treat somebody any kind of way. And I said, even when I was in college, and the thing is, I always had this I don't know what kind of word, you know, I don't like to be disrespected. I don't like to see people disrespected. Like, I hate to see racism, genders. I hate seeing all of that. But there is sometimes that, you know, subconscious things that we do, you know, that we feel the need to do, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, but I forget what I was saying. But I mean, I just had to be more assertive, say no to certain things, not accept certain things. And it was other things that he shared with me that he has done that I'm not comfortable with. And it was a point of time that I was like considering, okay, you know, all that. But no, why would I have to compromise for something that I don't like, that I don't want to deal with? You know, like, I'm just not going to do that if I don't have to. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to. And people like to pressure you and all that. And I also learned that you're not going to pressure me to do anything at all. If I don't want to do it, I'm going to let you know, like, no, you can do it. And I mean, that is what it is. I remember I was watching the Chipmunks, and it was the episode, I don't know his name, but he was very sweet. And he was saying yes to help these different people out, his family and all that. And it was to the point he was overwhelmed. Like, he couldn't complete all those tasks that, you know, he said yes to. And, you know, they was mad at him. You said that you're going to help me with this and this and this and, you know, stuff like that. And eventually they got mad at him. And, you know, he was not able to live up to his words and all that because he said yes to many things. And I feel like that goes when people who are very nice and loyal and want to help people, you can overwhelm yourself just by doing that. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay. And it doesn't matter if you want to take out time for yourself because you burn out at your job or whatever. Take that time out for you. Like, self-care is the best care. Like, take that time out for you. If you're stressed out and you're planning to go somewhere, you know, whatever, if that is a way for you to cope with stress that is positive, because there are negative coping strategies that I don't agree with. But another thing that I found out that is good for stress is me going to the gun range. And I did that this year as well. Like, we went to the gun range. Now, when you first come in, you hear all of these shots and you're scared to death. But the thing is, I got used to hearing those bullets and all that, you know, that loud noise. And you just can't adjust it to your environment. So it was the point that I didn't even hear it anymore. And I was scared. I was scared when I shot, well, I was about to shoot my first shot. And, you know, I was like, I'm gonna try not to be a, you know, scary cat. So I got the gun and all that. They explained it, you know, all that. And the first thing in my head was safety. And a lot of people, when they are doing things or reacting, you know, whatever, they don't think about others around them. They don't think about it. They're like, well, she just disrespected me. I'm going to let her know. There and there. Even though they have their kid right there, they don't think about the consequences or, you know, they don't think about safety. I feel like safety is important. And, you know, like, safety is important. So one of the things I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I follow this, these directions or whatever, what he's telling me, so I can execute what I'm trying to get done and all that. And, you know, I'm not going to let the gun flip over because, one, I'm not going to let anything destroy me or my family because it was behind me and other people who was around. You know, and a lot of people are very selfish and don't care about others around them. They, you know, I'm not that type of person. But so I shot and all that, even though I was scared, but I put that behind me. Instead of me using fear, and I feel like fear is a selfish act. And it's very, very selfish. And fear does play a big role in a lot of areas of my life, but I'm combating it, one by one. And imagine what you can do if you just got rid of fear. Kick him in the balls. If you just kick fear in the balls, you would get a lot of stuff done. A lot of stuff that you always dreamed of wanting and doing. You would have gotten a lot of that stuff done if you would have just kicked fear in the balls. Like, who cares about fear? Fear is going to be over there mad because you did not let him control you. You did not let him dictate what you can do in your life. And slowly but surely, I'm stepping up that ladder, being fearless. Like who cares? And it also goes with not caring what other people think to an extent. Okay, to an extent. Like, who cares? Okay, I'm gonna go there because I do not want my face to look fat. Because if you can contour your face a certain way, you can make your face look a little bit wider or smaller depending on how you want it. And it also goes with your face shape. So let me do like that. I don't know. I am filming in front of a mirror, so it is kind of daytime. Not mirror, window. So that sunlight and my ring light, so I better have it low. But yeah, so that was the moral of the story. And oh, I forgot the point that I was making in college. I'm nice and all that, and a lot of people use that as leverage to get over you. And there was a situation that I'm not going to get fully into. And I brought my friend to the dorm, all that, to hang out. Another girl had an issue with it, but she had all these people here all the time making all this noise, but it was okay. But anyways, so I brought her, and the next morning she came and basically trying to tell me what to do. Like, don't bring her over here. You know how folks be doing all that. I had to let homegirl know I am not the one. I am not the one. When I tell you, and one thing about me, when I get mad, my voice do kind of change, okay? And the bass and the loudness goes up. I always sound like a freaking man when I'm mad, when I'm there. So, I can't control it. It's pretty much nails because my mom kind of talk like a little man. I'm just going to keep it real. So, that right there just came out. And the way her eyes looked, it was like, I just did. Don't do that. Like, don't ever cross me. I don't care who you are. Don't do it. But anyway, so I had to let her know I am not the one, sweetie. And, it was the other roommate. She came out her room. She was like, oh, yeah, trying to calm me down. And I was like, nah, she's stepping across this line. So don't do that, okay? Let's be peaceful. But, I mean, you have to set boundaries. And that line that you was crossing, don't do that. Like, at a certain age, you know better. Like, you know better. Like, I just gotta keep it real. Like, you know better at a certain age. You know what is morally right. You know what is morally wrong. Like, I don't care what religion you are, whatever. You know what is good. You know what is right. Like, but anyways, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about, is basically setting boundaries, finding a, positive outlet to let go of your stresses and all that. If going to the gun range, release that anger and stress that you've been building up. And that's another thing, like, as I was shooting it, and I envisioned every negative thing that was in my life, that bullet, that energy transfer through those bullets went through that little piece of paper. And it was like life changing. I did focus on certain, parts of the body for that certain thing. Like, for example, you having heart problems, focus on the heart. Shoot that heart to, like, let's just say you have heart cancer. I don't know if that's a thing, but just focus on that. And it was just stuff like that, like fear, the brain, the mind. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, shoot it. I would not let fear control me. And you just let that energy, that focus, that safeness. And it's more than one way to think, when you're shooting a gun. You have to be focused on your surroundings. You have to be focused on your target, and, trying to basically kill something. So you have to focus on that target. And that's what I was doing. So as I was doing that, all of that buildup was gone. Like, it was life changing. You would have thought I got a spiritual baptism just by me doing that. Like, I really enjoyed it. So if you are scared to go to a gun range, I highly recommend you to go, especially if you're stressed out, even if you're not stressed out. But that is a form of self-care. And many times we see these YouTube videos of self-care and all that, and they're just doing their nails, their makeup, buying things, which those are the things that I enjoy, that I also consider as self-care as well. But sometimes self-care is taking that time off, taking that day off, that week off. If you have not taken off a day off in the whole year, plan a day to take that week off, or that, few days off for yourself, so you won't be able to do anything. If you have children, enroll them to a daycare or something, or, have a trusted individual to watch your child, and all that for a few hours. Like, self-care matters so much. If you have to wake up a few hours to get, 2 hours to yourself, do that. Like, we have to take care of ourselves. And that's one thing that I learned from 2020, is to take care of yourself. Set boundaries. I'm not talking about, dating. Also set boundaries for dating and marriage. Like, set that too. What you don't like, what you will not accept, let them know, sis. Like, let them know. Be real and be upfront. Tell them the consequences, what will happen. Like, you have to teach them. And that's also goes with being a teacher. Like, if you hit Bobby, you're going to go over there and sit by yourself. Or play by yourself, or go to the quiet area, or, stuff like that. I mean, you have to live it out. You have to have boundaries in life in general. So that was pretty much the premise of this video. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know some of your comments, thoughts, opinions on this, on these topics that I was giving you guys. But basically, take care of yourself. That's it. All right, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.